You know, Quentin, one of the things that I love to do when I'm behind the scenes, I love to hear more about the narrative, the backstory of guests before we actually interview them. So if you don't mind, take a moment or maybe 2 or 3 minutes, share a little bit about who is Quentin McCain. Number 2, what's Quentin's journey been like? And number 3, what is Quentin doing today?
Yeah, most definitely. So first and foremost, thank you for having me on the show. I am super excited to be here. I love what you're doing out in the world with the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you so much, Shay Brown. But what I want to say is that who is Quentin? Quentin is someone who just didn't know what to do at first, to be honest. I was living in mediocrity. My mindset was troubled, anxious, depressed, everything you can think of. And at that time, it showed in my results. It showed in my everyday life. I was running the streets. I was being a gangster out there, fighting everything you could think of. And it's because I was operating and vibrating at that level.
Wow. And if you can, what is your big why? A number of folks out there listening right now, they always want to know, and I always want to know, what's your big why? Why does Quentin do what Quentin does every day?
Yeah, the reason that I do what I do every single day is because I've realized that I don't have to settle. I don't have to settle for less. I really don't. What I realized is that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I know a lot of people don't know that. They hear it, they read it, but they haven't internalized it, that you really can create the life you want to create. And that's the reason I do what I do every single day, to show people how to make your brain work for you instead of your brain working you.
Yeah, and what do you say to the person that's out there right now and saying to themselves, you know what, all that sounds good. Later on, you're going to break it down and understand, teach them how to have the breakthrough that they really want in their life. Am I hearing that correctly?
You're hearing that absolutely correct.
Well, I'm tell you what, man, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm fired up. There's some episodes I look forward to. This is one of those episodes. I'm getting the cue that we're going to get started in 5. What's up, Loretta? What's up, Kevin Goings? Kevin Goings, give me a call. You owe me a call, man. We got to get you on. Eric Nicholson, I see you. Pat, out in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get the party started.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we have one mission, and our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide the resources so you, the entrepreneur, can live a balanced life, but more importantly, you have the resources necessary to do 3 things: Execute first the vision you have for yourself, the way you want to live, the food you want to eat, the places you want to go, the clothes you want to wear. Number 2, the vision you have for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, the ones you want to send to a school of your choice, the vacations you want to take, the fancy restaurants you want to go to. You want to write a check for their health care insurance. And you also, third, you have a vision. It takes resources. That means it takes money. You have a vision. It takes resources. It takes money. You have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, wherever you are in the world, Quentin McCain showed up for one reason and one reason only, to help you have that breakthrough to the level you want to get to. Quentin, my man out there in Phoenix, Arizona, what's up? Because you got the Phoenix in the house. Kevin's in the house. Pat Gilliam's in the house. Rhonda Johnson is in the house. Washington's in the house. Tracy Randolph's in the house. Tanisha's in the house. What's up? Ebony Banks in the house. Quentin, what's up, my man? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic, and I got to represent because I got my Phoenix people in the house here.
You know, Phoenix is a dot in the scheme of the world, by the way. But shout out to Phoenix, Arizona. I had a chance to hang out there. I was in Phoenix, Scottsdale. They all rock. Thanks for joining all of the viewers that are out there. Hey, Quentin, let's kick off with the whole "Today is my January 1st" mantra. And that's one of the core values of the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, is that any moment and any day when you make a decision that changes the trajectory of your life, that is a January 1st moment. You either go to the gym or you don't. You either eat hamburgers or you eat vegetables. Take a moment, if you will. Tell us about your January 1st moment where you decided, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to make this work. I'm drawing a line in the sand. And for everyone that's out there watching right now, do me a favor. Look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. Today is my January 1st. I'm going after my goals. Today is my January 1st. I get a reboot. I get a start over. I get a do-over. Today is my January 1st. I'm making a decision and taking action that's going to change the trajectory of my life. Let's hear what Quentin has to say about his "Today is my January 1st" moment.
Yeah, so my January 1st moment was in 2009. And a friend of mine, he let me borrow a CD, and the CD was from Jim Rohn, a big speaker that a lot of you may have heard of or heard motivational videos, compilations, or whatever on YouTube. But I heard a CD from Jim Rohn, and when I heard that CD, for some reason, everything just kind of clicked for me. He was just speaking life into me that day, and from that day on, I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I want to do. I want to help impact people's lives positively and shift their mindsets, or help them shift their mindsets, just like he did for me.
Wow, I love that. Now, I'm a big fan of Jim Rohn. He's no longer with us, but man, what a fantastic guy he was. Do you have a memorable quote or a memorable saying or something that Jim Rohn said that sticks with you that you can share with us? I mean, one of my all-time favorites was, either you run the day or the day runs you. And I'm always thinking about that every single day. But what was your favorite Jim Rohn saying?
Actually, that's one of them too. But the one that sticks out to me, and I'm hoping I'm not butchering it too much, it was any 5 years could be different from the last.
Yeah.
Any 5 years could be different from the last. And that just kind of stuck with me, because it was like, just because I've lived a certain life up until that point does not mean that I can't change it from that point forward.
Oh, man, I love that. I love that. You actually love when he said, don't wish it was easier, just wish you were better. Don't wish
you were
problems.
Better.
Wish
he
for
said it
more
like that,
skill.
though.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Take a moment, whenever we get a chance to have a conversation, I'm always wondering, after your January 1 moment, what were 3 things you did to get started? Because today is your January 1st. Is really all about taking that first step and getting started. What are 3 things you did to get started on the path that you're on now? Shout out to June Klein. She's also out there in Phoenix, Arizona. She's now living in Atlanta. Crystal Cunningham is out there. Tony Moore, the baddest patent attorney I know on the planet, is out there. Thank you so much for keeping us alive, Tony Moore. We love you. We appreciate you. But back over to you. What's up, Lawrence Hood? Back over to you, Quentin. Tell us the 3 things you did just to get started.
To get started, the first thing I remember doing right off the bat is that I started delving into books. I started reading, which was a big leap for me because I probably hadn't read not one book at that point since high school, and that was required, right, in class. So I delved into reading, and even though it was still kind of difficult for me, not to read per se, but to actually stay engaged and focused on what I was reading, I just started little by little and just would read like 10 minutes a day. That was probably one of the biggest things. The second thing I did was I started actually getting outside of my comfort zone and going to networking events and going to seminars and just listening to others who had already accomplished something on the path that I was setting out on. And then the third thing is matches right up with that second thing is I started seeking out mentors and coaches to help me along the journey.
Yeah, well, I respect that, man. You are a master NLP. We're going to get into that. You help folks break through the barriers so they can get success. We're going to talk about that. You're doing some really cool things in the world. But first, what would you say to the entrepreneur that's watching right now and they're like, sounds great, here we go again, I'm going to set some goals, sounds great, I'm going to have this mindset shift. Shay, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the right mindset. I understand that, but here's what I do know. Success for people, they all have one common belief. Do you know what that belief is? That belief is they can always get better. So Quentin, what would you say to the person that's listening right now? Maybe 3 things you would share with them to encourage them not only to get started, but to be consistent. Not only be consistent, but to finish what they start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one big thing I would say for sure is you stay on top of that personal development. You stay on top of it because and it happens to the best of us where you start out and then you kind of level out to where you're like, all right, well, I've been doing this for a while. I'm bored with it. But the key is to keep going and keep pushing yourself, because I found myself where I'm like, man, I'm not reading any more, personal development books because everything starts sounding the same, right? But at those times, I feel like you have to challenge yourself and go maybe a little deeper into one specific subcategory of whatever you're studying, right? So you got to keep challenging yourself. So that's one. Another thing that I would say for sure is get around others who encourage you. Get around others who have a common mission. I'm a big believer in masterminding. I have a few mastermind or accountability partners that I could just call at any time who are also entrepreneurs that say, hey, you know what, let's just mastermind, let's talk. How are you doing? How's your business? How's your life? And just having those conversations and getting around that energy will keep you in the game. And I'll probably end it with those two because that is huge for me. Keeping on challenging myself and then staying around others who are also pushing and challenging themselves so that we create that same energy. We're on that same vibration of just rocking it.
Yeah, just rocking it. I love it. When we come back, you're going to share with us the 5 things that we all can do to have a breakthrough to success. Now, that's a tall order. I mean, that's a really tall order. Matter of fact, when you said, Shay, this is what I want to do, I said, is he into his NLP stuff now? Is this guy on the moon somewhere? But he said, nah, Shay, we're going to do that. We're going to make a difference. We want folks, and one of our mantras is, we want folks to get results in their life and results in their business. So Coach Clara Sunshine, this is going to be for you. Crystal Cunningham coming up, this is for you. Eric Watson coming up, this is for you. When we come back, Quentin, my man, is going to do what? He's going to share 5 things you can do to create a mental breakthrough so you can achieve the success you want. For everyone that's out there watching, do me a favor. Look right below the video. No, look right below the video right now. And I want you to type these words. Today is my January 1st. Hashtag it's my time. Just put today is my January 1st. Hashtag it's my time. Look right below the video. And I want you to write those words. And when you write those words, that's a signal, a bat signal to me and a bat signal to everyone else that you know what? You're on the right page. You're making some new decisions. And this is your year. This is your time. And you're ready because today is my January 1st. We'll be back in just a moment. we're going to go first over to Rob Howes. And Rob Howes will be talking about be present where you are, because today is my January 1st. We'll be back.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st, Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So, take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we have a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources you need to live a balanced life. Yeah, I get that. But also to execute that vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I'm really excited because Quentin McCain is going to be doing that. And that's his mission, and that's what he's here to do today. You know, Quentin, I mentioned earlier that you are a master NLP. And we're going to get into 5 ways to help folks. I get that. But some folks will want to say, what in the LL Cool J is a master NLP? And why is that important? Why should I pay attention? And why should I listen? Take a moment, man, and unpackage that whole master NLP thing.
Yeah, for sure. So NLP, you probably now we hear it more thrown around in seminars and coaching now more than ever. But NLP, for those that don't know, stands for neuro-linguistic programming. And if you break that down, neuro's the mind, right? So thoughts. Linguistic is language or communication, whether that be internally in your mind or externally speaking to other people. And then programming, really, if you break it down, is your habits, right? So we all download these programs from, age 7 and up. And they say by the age 7, you've already downloaded a lot of, patterns that you carry on throughout life. So that's what NLP is. And to break it down even further, I like to explain NLP as we take in information as humans through the 5 senses, right? Sight, smell, touch, taste, auditory, all that good stuff, right? We take in information through the 5 senses. And since we take in information through the 5 senses, and that's how we relay our world or our experience to others, we can also alter our world, our mind, through those 5 senses. What I mean by that is if somebody has a negative thought, they're always going to experience it through one of those 5 senses. They're going to see a picture, hear a sound of somebody telling them, that they're worthless when they were, in college basketball or whatever, or something is going to be experienced through those 5 senses. And since it's in our own mind, we can alter it.
Wow, I love that. Senses that we can alter, man. I love that. Take a moment if you can, and I'm just curious. Before we get into the 5 ways, I'm just curious. It has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about tonight or this morning or whatever time they're watching or listening to the podcast or listening to the conference call. Welcome, everybody, from Apple TV, man. We're glad to have you aboard, and all of our folks over at Amazon Fire, thanks for joining, and Roku, and some of you right now on the podcast, thank you so much. We love being now on iHeartRadio, so shout out to you. Why do people have this whole barrier when it comes to having the mental capacity in order to really give their best? You know what I mean? Like, you think most folks know they need to be positive in order for things to happen, but yet even the entrepreneur, like the best of the best, the folks that are watching right now, these are winners. These are champions. These are folks who want to go to another level. What's the #1 thing or something that you believe holds people back from having the mental capacity to not only be focused, but to go after their goals with everything they have? What holds them back from taking action? That's the question. What holds people back from just taking action?
Honestly, I believe one of the biggest things that holds people back is fear of rejection. I feel like what holds a lot of people back is they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to sound stupid. They don't want to fail in public. And I think that is crippling to a lot of people, and that makes them not shoot for what they really want to shoot for.
Yeah. So well said, man. I appreciate that because, I know when you and I were talking earlier, we were talking about the power of positive thinking. I said a lot of folks do think positive. In fact, they know exactly what they should do. I should go after a new client, but I'm not doing it. I should be writing my presentation, but I'm not doing it. I should be building collaboration partners right now, and I'm sending an email or sending a text or making a phone call, and I'm not doing it. I should be planning my day on paper, and I'm not doing it. This is not a beat me obsession. I've been guilty myself. I've fallen off track, my man. I fell off track. One of the things I want to do is I want to write in my 5-minute journal every single day. And guess what? Out of this year, I think I've written in it maybe 150 times or something like that. So I'm batting 50-50. Sometimes I go 30 or 45 straight days. Then I'm off for another 2 weeks, and I'm back on track again. So life is a series of being on track and on track. So here's my question to you. What is something you recommend that someone does? And we'll get into the 5 things they need to do to have a mental barrier. Folks, I haven't forgot that. But I'm just having some real talk right now because I'm just curious. What is something that Quentin recommends that you do in order to be consistent and to be disciplined? What would you say to that person?
Yeah. Well, you said the key word. The key word is discipline. And I think it all comes down to, are you just interested or intrigued with the idea of success, or are you committed? You got to ask yourself that question, because I feel like a lot of people, we get comfortable and we're like, well, I mean, I'm doing all right. I got a roof over my head. I have food, so, if I don't make those sales calls tomorrow, I'm still going to be all right. But if you make the decision in your mind that this is not just something I'm intrigued with, this is something that I am committed to. We talked about what is your January 1st, right? Everybody hears the word resolution only on January 1st. Why is it only on January 1st? When a resolution is when you resolve to do something, when there's no other option, and that's what we have to make it, a resolution, not just on January 1st.
Yeah. I'm hearing you, man. I'm feeling you. I'm picking up what you're putting down over here, my man. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes,
take a moment
indeed.
and give us idea number 1 that we need to do in order to have a mental barrier breakthrough. And can you frame the conversation just so folks understand what is a mental barrier breakthrough? Why is that important? And then we're going to the 5 ways or 5 things that they can do in order to have that mental barrier breakthrough.
Sure. So in order to break through mentally, in my opinion, you have to do a combination of things. And sometimes they might not even go in this sequence of the list that I'm going to give you. They could come in any number of order, right? They can come in any number of order. But there are these things that you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to do them repeatedly because the brain loves repetition, right? That's exactly how we developed our negative and bad habits and limiting beliefs. And that's how we're going to have to develop our positive habits and empowering beliefs, is through repetition. So just to frame it even more, when you have a negative habit and negative beliefs, you've created these neuronal connections, right, through the neurons in your brain, and you've made them pretty deep because you keep doing them. When you learn something new, you create a connection. When you remember that thing, it strengthens the connection. So imagine when you go back over and over and over again to these negative thoughts or your past traumas, it's strengthening those connections. So what we have to do is strengthen the positive ones.
Yeah. I heard a saying before that people form habits and habits form futures. People form habits and habits form futures. Before you get into the 5 ways, don't worry. I know I'm off script. I get it. We're going to get into the 5 ways. He's ready to tell you these 5 ways. But what are 2 or 3 powerful habits that a successful person needs to have in order on a daily basis? Again, the quote was, people form habits and habits form futures. The question is, what's 1, 2, or 3 habits that all successful entrepreneurs need to have on a daily basis in order to be successful?
Honestly, I would say it's creating a empowering routine. Actually, my mom and I, who you've met my mom, who's also a speaker and coach, my mom and I have been talking about this recently about your routines. Do you have a routine in the morning as soon as you get up, or do you just go into the automatic of life and say, all right, now off to, my job, or off to this thing A, B, and C, and it's just a repetitive motion, a repetitive life where nothing new is coming inside? Or do you start your day with intention and say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to get up and I'm going to pray. I'm going to do my exercises, and then I'm going to read. Start your day with something intentional. And I think that's something that every successful person has, is some kind of routine, whether it be in the morning, in the night. But I know a lot personally to do it in the morning, where you start your day off with intention of what you want to create in that day.
Yeah, I struggled myself. I had to stop reading email when I first woke up in the morning. I used to grab my phone and look over it. The first thing I would do is read email. And I said, no, let me go watch my favorite YouTube video, because I was guilty of doing that. And so I had to stop that, because I found out I would jump up and immediately I'm starting to answer email. I'm starting to follow up. I'm answering the text message. And I had to stop that and try to have some quiet time as much as I possibly could. Want to give a shout out to Kevin, who's watching. Stan Richardson, what's up? T. Jordan, thanks for joining. Talonda Fields, it is always a pleasure. Siobhan, thanks a lot. For all of you who are watching, he's going to give us one of the 5 ways that we need to have that mental breakthrough. And for some of you, this is trainer. But I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look below the video right now. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't do that. But look below the video. You can go over to the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe and do it. Look below the video and write these words. It's my time. Hashtag do it now. Just look right below the video. Look right below. If you're ready to make this your best year ever, if you're ready to make this your best month ever, if you're ready to have a mental breakthrough, I want you to look right below the video, and I want you to write these words. It's my time. Hashtag do it now. Whatever it is for you, it's my time to have the relationship I want. Go do it now. It's my time to spend less than I make and save more money. Hashtag do it now. It's my time to take care of my health, eat the right foods, diet and exercise. Hashtag do it now. It's my time. Go ahead and write that right now. That's a power statement. I want you to write that right now. Look right below the video. When someone writes those words, hit the like button, hit the encourage button. Tell them, yes, it is. Let's all love on each other. Let's all support each other. That's what we're here for. Quentin, give us one of the 5 ways of things that we can do in order to have a mental breakthrough to success.
So the first way that I want to tell you guys about is your environment. Your environment. And what I mean by that, I know that automatically everybody's going to think just your physical environment. But by environment, I mean not just the physical, although that's important. The people you're around, the places you hang out, are those places and people supportive to your goals and your mission? But not just physical, we're also talking about your mental environment, right? What do you have in your mental environment that could be an obstruction? What could be blocking the path mentally? So your mental environment and your physical environment. One way with the environment that you can already start creating the success you want is feed it things that support it. Like maybe it's a podcast like this, The Happy Entrepreneur. Perfect example. He's doing great things in the world, giving you knowledge all the time from great guests that are helping you, and from himself. Reading, seminars, whatever it is for you, the environment needs to be primed for success.
Now, what is one of your favorite ways you like to feed your own personal environment? Tell us a time where you didn't have that. You weren't feeding on a daily basis. What type of results were you getting? And then what was the difference once you started feeding yourself?
Yeah, I totally feel like a different person, to be honest. Like I said, I was kind of running the streets when I was younger. So my environment that I was feeding was, everything that I thought I was then, which had to be fighting and, thinking you were tough and not letting anybody talk to you crazy, right? All that kind of stuff. So since I was feeding that to myself, that was my environment, and it showed. I was, broke and angry and anxious and all of the above.
Yeah, Yeah. So true, man. Thanks for sharing. We're going to go over to my good friend, Sean Harper. Sean Harper is a 7-year NFL football player. And he talks about something that's very important. He talks about the law of capacity, which is really, really key to what we're talking about today. We're going to come back. Don't worry. And we're going to come back and Quentin's going to break down 4 ways in order for you to have a mental breakthrough. But let's go over and check in with Sean Harper. Let's hear what he has to say about the law of capacity for everyone that's out there watching right now. We'll be back in just a moment on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Do me a favor. Hit the share button. No, you see the share button right there? Hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, write these words. It's time for your success. It's time for your success. Hit the share button. Why would you hit the share button? Because we believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So this is happy hour. That's what I call it when you show up here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It's like happy hour, man, with Shay Brown and Quentin. We're just hanging out. We'll be back in just a moment. But hit that share button. Change a life. Pay it forward. We'll be back. Take it away, Sean. Take it away, my man.
Hi, my name is Sean Harper, motivational speaker, author, investor. I love investing in people because people has the potential of generating years of dividends. This is my January 1st. And as I'm moving in January 1st, I have to be mindful of the laws, the law of capacity. Now, if you know me, I break all the rules, but I never break laws. If you break laws, laws will break you. Laws are unchangeable. So the law of capacity is that you will grow in proportion to your environment. It reminds me of a story of a guy named Walt Disney. We all know Walt Disney, but Walt Disney started out after a couple failed ventures. He started out with Disneyland, south of Anaheim, California. And he had great success, but he had one challenge. He was landlocked. And so he couldn't expand. And so he secretly, anonymously, began to buy up land in the Orlando area. And he formed shell companies, and he brought 500 acres here, 100 acres here with this company, and maybe 2,000 acres with this company. And he went on, and a investigative journalist caught on to it, but not until he amassed over 26 to 30,000 acres. And now that man, who is now deceased, still has land that's not been developed. His dream was huge, but his capacity was small. One of the problems or challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, as business owners, business leaders, is that we run out of capacity. When there's stress in the business, when there's stress as an entrepreneur, is usually one or 2 problems. A, you don't have the systems, or B, you have a lack of capacity. That is a spiritual law. And I often compare spiritual laws or look for evidence of spiritual laws in nature. You take a shark, put it in the fish tank, it gets this big. Take that same baby shark, put it in the ocean, it gets this big. Before you dream, or right after you dream, the first thing you do is you begin to build your capacity. Before you build up, you gotta build down. Thank you. Play to win. Bye-bye.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide the resources necessary so you, the entrepreneur, you can live a balanced life, and you can execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. Isn't that what it's all about? We're here talking with Quentin McCain, and Quentin McCain is really focused on helping you have the mental breakthrough that you need right now to achieve your success. And I know the question on a number of your mind right now is, Quentin, what does success mean to you? What does success look like? You help people achieve success. And I know it means different things to different people. But Quentin, for you, when you hear the word success, what does it mean to you? And what does it look like to you, Quentin?
To me, the best way that I love to describe success to people, for me, is doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. And if you can, go ahead and give us idea number 2. You said you're going to give us 5 ways that we can have a breakthrough. Give us idea number 2 to have a breakthrough in order to achieve a success in our life.
Yeah, so number 1 was environment. Number 2 is your thoughts. You have to monitor your thoughts. I'm talking about you got to be that guard in front of the gate. Monitor your thoughts. We're human, so we're always going to have those ants, right? Those automatic negative thoughts that just crawl in, right? But you got to monitor those thoughts. And when you have a thought that is negative and unsupportive of where you're trying to go, you have to do what I call erase and replace. Erase and replace. So as soon as you get that negative thought that comes in, it's okay if it comes in. Don't feel bad, but just say, no, that is not what I mean. What I mean is, and then replace it with a more supportive, positive thought.
I like that. I like that. And when you think about that, tell us about a time where that happened, maybe in your life, or give us a short story of someone that found themselves right in that position. And because they made the change, it made a difference for them.
Yeah, for sure. So I can think of a time when I lost, like, at this time, it was significant for me. I was, just getting by, paycheck to paycheck kind of deal. And I remember that I was going through like a anxious or depressive kind of moment. And I like to take walks when I'm thinking or if I'm going through something. So I went to the park and I was taking a walk, and I just happened to have my wallet in my pocket, right? I had my wallet, and I had I think it was like $650 in my wallet, which wasn't normal for me to have just in my wallet. That's a
lot of cash, man. That's a lot of cash.
Right. It wasn't normal for me to just have that in my wallet, but I was going to pay my rent the next day. And I don't know what happened, but my wallet dropped out of my pocket, and I lost my wallet with $650 of my rent money in it. And I know that I just went on a downward spiral, like, man, how am I going to pay my rent, all this stuff, right? But I was already starting to kind of delve into this work and working with my mind, and I said, this is the best test of all. So I automatically started changing my thoughts, which is the hardest thing to do when you're going through it. Mm-hmm. And I started changing my thoughts and said, no, you know what? Money comes to me easily. I started telling myself things like that, and that it's not that I heard a quote that says, it isn't about not having resources, it's about resourcefulness, right? It's not that you lack resources, you lack resourcefulness. So I started changing my language, changing my thoughts, and then it gave me the clarity to start figuring out, okay, what can I do from this point on? Because being sad and depressed is not going to pay my rent.
Man, I love it. Being sad and depressed absolutely will not, man. Thanks a lot for sharing. Thanks for being authentic. When we come back, Quinn's going to give us idea number three, idea number 4, and then idea number 5 that you can have a breakthrough. We're going to go over now to the one and only Dr. Quentin McCain down in Raleigh, North Carolina. And she said, Shay, you got to keep evolving. Shay, you got to keep evolving. Shay, you got to keep evolving. Let's hear about keeping evolving.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Quentin McCain, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #NextSisterUp. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Keep evolving. Keep evolving. You see, in business and in life, it is important, it's an imperative, it is critical that we continue to evolve over time. I'm reminded of Kodak. Yes, Kodak Film Company. You guys remember, we used to have those cameras where we had to actually put film in the back of them. And then once we were done, we would take all those film to our local CVS, Walgreens, or Walmart to get developed. And then when we received our pictures back, half of them we couldn't utilize because it was a picture of the floor, of the ceiling, of our finger, or the string from the camera. You see, Kodak did not evolve with the digital era. And so they went out of business. Now we will not become a Kodak because we know the importance of refining, rethinking, and evolving over time. As business owners and as individuals, we must continuously ask ourselves, what's next? What's next? If we are in the same place in our business, in our life that we were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or even last year, it's time to evaluate and it's time to evolve. Of course, in business and in life, nothing is constant. Change is constant, and we must keep evolving, not only for ourselves, but for those who we are intended to serve. So, keep changing, keep growing, keep moving, and most importantly, keep evolving. My name's Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. And we're on a mission to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision, that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve, or the vision you have for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, or the vision you have just for yourself. Yeah, at the end of the day, you've got to take care of yourself. With that being said, we're talking to Quentin. Quentin's breaking down the barriers that are out there. And Quentin, before you give barrier number 3, barrier number 4, and barrier number 5 the way they can do to have a breakthrough, I first want to do something called the Champions Creed. And I love the Champions Creed. It's one of my favorite to do because the Champions Creed is when we get to cheer someone else. The Champions Creed, we get to say, it's your breakthrough. Your breakthrough is here. Your breakthrough is here. And we're going to cheer someone else. We're not going to talk about us. We're going to talk about another entrepreneur. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read a poem that was given to me by my mentor. And for those folks that are new, that are watching for the very first time, this is where you get to participate. You get to encourage someone else. You get to look below the video and you get to write these words. Your breakthrough is here. Hashtag don't give up. I want you to look right below the video because now, imagine when you write those words, your breakthrough is here. Hashtag don't give up. There's another entrepreneur out there. They may be doing really, really well, but the pressure is building. And they're like, man, can I keep this up? Your breakthrough is here. Or maybe like Quentin, maybe they've lost their biggest client. Maybe they tried something and it didn't work out. I've been there. And you're letting them know your breakthrough is here. Hashtag don't give up. So let me go ahead and put that up there. Let me put it up there. And I'm going to read this. And Quentin, I'm going to ask you when I finish to read it. But here it is. It's called the Happy Entrepreneurs Champions Creed. And here's how it goes. I'm not judged by the number of times I fail. Boy, if I failed. But by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail, but I keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And so you listening right now, listen to the podcast, you listen to the replay, you listen live, look right below the video right now and write these words. Your breakthrough is here. Hashtag don't quit. I'm sorry, never give up. Hashtag never give up. Now, Quentin, I'm going to pull that up. And I'm going to ask if you'll do me a favor. We're going to encourage another entrepreneurs like we're running a marathon. We're on the side. We're not in the race, but we're cheering someone else. We're giving them high fives. High five, high five, high five. We're handing them water. Drink the water. We're giving them some nutrition so they can keep on going. They can keep on going no matter what. And I love it. It's one of my favorite segments. So will you do me a favor, Quentin? Will you read the words once I put it up? And then after you read the Champions Creed, will you take a moment and tell us about a time, if it happened to you, where there was a setback? There was a challenge. Things didn't work out the way you thought they would work out, but this is what you did to turn it around. Do you mind doing that out there? Okay.
Not at all.
All right, let me go ahead and put it up for you right now. All right, take it away, my man.
Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
And keep trying, and keep trying, and keep trying. We got to do the Puff Daddy remix version, all right? I'm part of the Jay-Z generation, all right? Got to have that remix, that remix, that remix. All right, my man, I'm going to turn it over to you. Take it away. Tell us a time that you, Quentin McCain, had a setback, and then what did you do to turn it all around?
All right. Well, I've had many, so let me think for a quick moment. Yeah, I've had many. So let's see. A time that I had a setback. I would say that a time I had a setback was when actually in business, starting out in business, and I started feeling like I really knew what I was doing, and things were starting to flow. And then you reach out and you send those emails and you send those calls, and I got some little bit of feedback from it, as if I was going to get a gig, right? I was going to get a gig, and I was like, yes, you know what? This is working out. This is working out. And literally, I think they asked me, like, you know, what my rate was or something like that. And I had no idea what to say. So I was like messaging other people. And long story short, I took too long to get back to them. And by the time I got back, I think my fee was like way under what their budget even was anyway. So it was just a learning experience. But I kept on going. You keep refining, you keep learning, you talk to mentors, and you figure out how to work it out.
Yeah, you figure out how to work it out, how to keep on going no matter what. And that what being a champion is about. What was your mindset like? How did you looking back now, you may not have known then, but you know now, what would you tell yourself then about the mindset and the belief system to have to shift things around?
I would say have an outline, have a plan, if you're going to be reaching out to people or whatever the case may be. I'm just using that as an example. What's the plan? What's the intention? What's the outcome that you would like to see?
Yeah, what's the outcome you want to have at the end of the day? That is very, very important. We come back. I know you're going to give us number 3, number 4, and number 5 as we bring this down the home stretch. We're going to go over now to the one and only Dr. Kim Warren Martin, who's over there in Arkansas, and she's going to talk about you got to finish strong. You've got to finish strong. You can start slow, but you got to finish strong. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey there, happy entrepreneurs. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. Excited to share my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. This week's thought is finish strong. Performance expert Gary Ryan Blair said, "You can't finish what you don't start, and you should never start what you're not committed to finishing." So if you know who you are, what you want, and why you want it, then you can still just go for it. So here are 5 logical steps to finishing strong. Step 1, get a clear picture of what finishing looks like for you. And not just finishing, but finishing strong. Is it a revenue goal, a customer goal, a relationship goal? Know what it is for you and be sure to write it down. Step 2 is to map out the course to getting there, to reaching your goal, and focus on that goal and that definition only. Step 3 is to believe in yourself. Take 100% responsibility, own your brilliance, and forget external circumstances or what others might have to say. Step 4 is commit to staying the course. Commit to finishing, commit to completing it. And step 5 is to take action and celebrate small wins along the way. Hey, happy entrepreneurs. Today is your January 1st. So if you're not committed to finishing strong, stop right there because you have a decision to make. Blair also said, coded in our genes is an extraordinary will, an indomitable spirit, a relentless, strong ethos that is incapable of being overcome, extinguished, or vanquished, except by you. Now, I added that last part because you are the only one that can stand in the way of what you want. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, with the thought, finish strong, here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Remember this, if you're brave enough to start, you're strong enough to finish. Until next time, make it a great day. Back over to you, Shay.
Make it a great day, and we're here making it a great day on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We're on a mission to help empower, to inspire, and give you the resources you need to live a balanced life, get results in your life, and also results in your business for that vision you have. Quentin, give us number 3, then give us number 4, and then hold out on number 5. But give us number 3 and 4 right now on ways we need to do in order to have breakthrough barriers to success.
All right. Yes. So number 3 is focus. And that word is also thrown around quite a bit in every realm you could think about. But focus is super important because what you focus on expands. What you focus on, you see more of. And that's not just woo-woo talk. There's something in your brain called the reticular activating system, RAC, that is specifically for that. So when you set something in your sights and you're focusing on something, your brain says, okay, let's block out 99% of everything else and really hyper focus on this. This is why when people say they have bad luck, they probably do, because their focus is on everything bad that's happening in their life. Their focus is on the negative thoughts. Their focus is on the depression, the anxiety. So guess what? they're getting more of that. They're getting more of that every single day because that is what their focus is on. So focus on the positive things. Focus on only what you want.
God, focus on only what you want. And what's number 4?
Number 4, it ties into it. And number 4 is your words. Your words are so powerful. I use this a lot in my coaching. One of the main things I have people do is automatically start changing your vocabulary, because words have power, right? Words have significance in your brain. So when you say certain words, it brings up certain feelings, which brings out a certain type of chemical response in your body, hormones, right? So when you say something like, I had a bad day, okay, that doesn't have much of a sting, right? But if I tell you I had a devastating, a terrible day, that tells your mind something. It gives you a picture. That picture releases stress hormones, right, in your body. And then it becomes a cycle. More stress hormones makes you have more negative, stressed out thoughts. Those negative, stressed out thoughts makes you release more stress hormones. And it's just a vicious cycle. So you have to watch your words. It's super important to watch your words.
Right, you've got to watch your words. You got to watch what you're doing. We're here with none other than Quentin McCain, and when we come back, he's going to give us number 5. But first, we're going over to Letitia Nicole, and she says you got to stay in the game. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm glad to see you here. What a surprise, what a surprise. Guess what, you guys? My name is Letitia Nicole Beatty, and I'm the CEO founder of Speak Life Enterprise, where I teach entrepreneurs like yourself how to speak powerful words into the atmosphere to shape your business. And today is my January the 1st. But before I start my thought of the week, I have to give kudos and props and a round of applause and a happy belated birthday to who else? None other than Shay Brown, the CEO founders of this Happy Entrepreneur Group. Hey, Shay, thank you so much for allowing me to speak life. Now, to my thought of the week. You guys, listen to me. My thought of the week this week is that you have been anointed with a gift. Now, whatever you've been anointed with, it is up to you to bless the universe with your gift. And how do you bless the universe with your gift? By being a present. That means showing up. That means your presence is needed in this earth. Your presence, that's the gift. So you make sure that you show up in that gift. Now, I have a story. You know, I have a little story. I always have a little story. Let me tell you something. People used to come to me all the time for advice. All the time. Asking me for advice. And I would give it to them. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop getting advice. That's getting on my nerve. Oh, my God. And then people was like, wait a minute. Where are you? Where is my friend? Where is the person that's giving advice? God anointed me to be a life coach, to be a mentor, to be a minister. God anointed me. He said your gift should make room for you. So if you're not showing up in your gift, that means you're not giving the world a present. That means that you are not earning your money. He said you have the power to get wealth. And if you're not showing up in your gift by being a present to somebody else, you better get it together. So until next time, why don't you give your gift of just by being a present into somebody's life this Christmas, this holiday, this year, today. All right? My name is Letitia Nicole, and I speak life so that we all may have life more abundantly. But until next time, be a gift and give somebody that present. Bye.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the ¡1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We're here with none other than the one and the only Quentin McCain, who's here to help us with this mission that we have. And our mission is to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute that vision for the people you were called to serve. And I'm really excited. I couldn't wait for the night. And he's been talking about how to have the breakthrough that you need to success and breaking down those mental barriers that are there. He gave us number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. He's now given us number 5. And after he gives us number 5, we're going to go rapid fire. And then I'm going to ask him to give his final thoughts. So, Quentin, go ahead and give them idea number 5.
All right. Number 5 is none other than accountability and maintenance. Accountability, meaning get a coach, get an accountability partner, get a family member or friend who just believes in your mission and is just going to be there for you, because this road can be rocky, especially for entrepreneurs out there. And I'm sure not just entrepreneurs, but this road can be rocky. And sometimes it can feel like you're out there on your own. So accountability is huge. Maintenance means that you can't just do a couple techniques or listen to a podcast once or do an online program or go to this seminar and then think that you're done and your life has changed for the good forever. You got to keep at it. You got to work at this. It's called a practice. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it, get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, man. I appreciate that.
Right.
You know, for those folks that are out there watching right now, they might be wondering, as we go into rapid fire mode right now, and that's where I ask a question and Quentin just answers the question as quick as he can. But Quentin, what do you do for fun, my man, when you're not out saving the world, out there changing people's lives? What do you do for fun?
Yeah, I actually love salsa dancing. I like dancing salsa. I like dancing bachata, another Latin dance. Other than that, I like eating. I'm a big foodie. I like trying different foods, restaurants. Yeah.
Sure. And who's been a mentor along the way for you that's helped frame your thinking? And what's one idea you like to share with us that you learned from your mentor?
Yeah, so a huge mentor, I guess the biggest one would be my mom. So she's always been super supportive. For those that don't know, we actually wrote a book together. We co-authored a book called Think on These Things. My mom's just been a huge support throughout the whole journey. But another mentor that I can't not mention is Wyatt Earp. I met him when I was going to Toastmasters some years back, and he just took me under his wing, showed me the speaking game, and just life too. He was a great mentor, and he still is. I still talk to him fairly regularly.
Ah, man, that is so cool, man. And if you can, I want you to go ahead and tell folks, how can they connect with you? How can they contact you? If they want to stay in contact with you, they want to bring you to speak to one of their events, they want to get you on their podcast, get you on their webinar, or in fact, bring you to their church or their organization, how can they contact Quentin McCain?
Yeah, so you can actually find me, QuentinMcCain.com. QuentinMccain.com, QuentinMcCain.com, or all social media at Coach Q McCain.
Coach Q McCain, is that correct?
That's right.
All right, .com. Thanks a lot, man. That is so amazing. If you would, man, go ahead and have your final thoughts. First, let me say thanks so much, man. We appreciate you being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you sharing the best ideas, the insider secrets you have to help us have a breakthrough on the mental side. And because one of the things we believe here at the Happy Entrepreneur Network is that the results that show up in your life, well, they're just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And you need to have the mental capacity, you need to have the mental discipline in order for you to not so much go after your goals, but stay consistent. I love what my good friend George Frazier says. He says, stay the course. And sometimes in order for you to stay the course, you got to be mentally in the game. You got to be mentally tougher. You got to be able to outwork your potential on any given day. So thanks for sharing, man. What are your final thoughts? What are your final comments to everyone that's watching out there right now and all of the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, my final thoughts are, first of all, I just want to thank every single person who's watching. Thank you, Shay Brown, for having me on the show. Thank you to the Happy Entrepreneur community. Thank you to all you guys out there. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So I'm glad that we're doing this. I thank you, Shay, for bringing this platform to the people. And my last thoughts are that none of us were born with an instruction manual to the mind, right? None of us were born with it. However, there are things we can do to start figuring this thing out called the mind and figuring this thing off called life and success. We just got to take the steps. Follow the steps, we went over today, the environment, your mind and physical, your thoughts, your focus, your words, accountability and maintenance. And that's a start,
Yeah, you do those things and you will be successful. Once again, man, thanks a lot for having you on the show. We've got to have you back. Thank all of you who are watching. Those that are joining us for the first time, we want to invite you back. And those that join on a regular basis, welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you. With that being said, Quentin, thank you so much. For everyone out there in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, today is your January 1st. Make a decision that you're going to change the way you think, you're going to change the way you take your actions, and you're going to change your habits. Change your mind, change your life. With that being said, look right below the video and write, today is my January 1st. I'm ready for my breakthrough. Today is my what? January 1st. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you all success. See you later. Thanks a lot, Quentin. Peace.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Kennett?
Ready, ready.
No, none other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you. God bless.